Take 23, action. I'm having brain issues today. I think I might have missed my fish oil this morning. Or maybe I'm out. I should check. But anyway, hey guys, it's Tarkon. I'm back with another comment video because I had so much fun last time doing that. And I think you enjoyed it too. That I've decided to do another one this week. And we have some good comments here. So I'm just going to jump right into it. There's a comment, very short one, from 𝗙𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧. I like that. Is that Romanian? I don't even know if I said that correctly, but I just wanted to say it like that. 𝗙𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧. I love that. Okay. 𝗙𝗏 wants to know, does the religion matter when I use it on a specific person? Now, I'm assuming that you're asking whether it matters that you are both of a different religion. I think that's what you're asking. And if that's what you're asking, then no, it doesn't matter at all. Of course it doesn't matter. Now, if you feel that somehow the religion of your specific person is a problem or a hindrance of some sort in the two of you coming together, let's say maybe, I don't know, her parents don't like it, that you're not of the same religion or anything like that, understand that these are just points of resistance. These are issues that can be overcome, all right? If you think about it being a problem, then it's going to be a problem, very simply. You have to not look at these details and these issues like, what if she doesn't like tall guys? What if she's a different religion? Think of it as your mind, your ego, coming up with reasons not to do this, all right? With reasons why this can't work. And remember that in life, where all of us have been programmed and conditioned like this, right? We want to do things, we want a certain thing in our lives, we want a certain reality, and we continue to think, the first thoughts that come up are problems, all right? It's perfectly normal. So if you're worried about something like that, and I would say from my perspective, and I think everything I've been saying in my videos, the clear, unequivocal answer is no, absolutely not. Stop focusing on it right now. Don't even bring it up anymore. Don't discuss it with anybody. Focus on the relationship that you want, where this isn't even an issue that comes up, okay? Now, I hope that answers your question. That's a very short comment. That's a very short question, and I don't have a lot of the specifics, so I think I got it right. That the other person's religion seems to be an issue for them or their family or something like that. I would have to know a little bit more about the situation, but the very short answer is no. Things like that should never matter, okay? You can absolutely manifest a relationship with this person, regardless of whatever of these silly little obstacles come up, if it's religion or anything else, all right? Mariana 𝗙𝗏𝗖𝗋, Russian? And I probably totally slaughtered that. I am fluent in German, but not any of the Slavic languages, so you can change your perception of them or anyone else by sending them positive, energetic messages in front of their photo. See, that's not a question, that's a comment, and I love it. The reason I read it is because I actually think you're absolutely right, and I just wanted to share that with everybody, that's a great method, as a matter of fact, and I've done it, and, there's this, a lot of you guys are interested in the quantum stuff, so let's talk about entanglement, right? What's entanglement? So two objects are at a distance from each other, but they're entangled. So one thing happens to another, to one object, it happens to the other object. There's some mysterious sort of force keeping them together. Now, we're all entangled, right? And I've said this many times before. The thoughts you give your specific person are reaching them, all right? So, but if you can use a tool like a photograph and focus on it, and sort of use it as a way for you to draw your focus. You don't need it. It's not necessary to use a photograph, but it can be a great way for you to fine-tune your attention and your focus on them in a positive manner. Then yes, absolutely, that's a great method to use. I love it. Thank you, Mariana. And again, all of your names, some of them are going to be a little difficult for me to pronounce, so forgive me for that. That goes for 𝗙cydonie Tapper. I think 𝗙cydonie or 𝗙cydonie, and I can't remember. I don't know which way is correct, but I'm going to say 𝗙cydonie because I like it. Hey Tarkon, Overthinker here. Hey, fellow Overthinker. I was able to manifest my SP after a month. That's specific person for those of you who don't know. After a month, but that natural easy feeling that you were mentioning was missing for me. Well, I saw a message from them and realized I'm not yet my best self, and ultimately I wanted to attract a better, healthier, less dependent relationship. Good, you're becoming clear on what you want. This is good, all right? That's a good thing. And you got a message from them. That's a great sign, all right? That's you moving in the right direction. Okay, I wanted to attract a better, healthier, less dependent relationship, or at least jump to that reality. I also know I got a lot of self-work left to do, so I'm not so emotionally dependent on them. Well, you know what? We all have work left to do, if that's the way we want to put it, right? That's work is never going to finish, so don't wait for things because you feel like I want to wait for the perfect moment. You might find that perfect moment will never arrive, all right? But you should never stop working on yourself, whether you are in a relationship or not, okay? But don't let it be an obstacle towards moving towards your goals and your dream and your manifestation, all right? So, is it possible to manifest them again when I am in a different headspace? Of course it is. Look, you can manifest them at any time. You can even manifest him if you're not in a headspace that you feel is somehow conducive to manifesting. In fact, you did it. You manifested a message from them. So, you said them, I want to say him, but maybe that's wrong, but I'll say them. But understand this, that you have something to celebrate because you got a message from them, all right? And then you get to choose, right? All these steps along the way are little mini pre-manifestations, if you will. Maybe you've heard that before. You know, they're signs that you're heading towards what you want. Now, if you're feeling resistance along that way and in relation or response to these signs, then that's good because that's indicating to you where you still have some resistance and some roadblocks to clear away, right? So that's a good thing. So that means actually you are clearing these roadblocks. You are moving towards what you want. You're starting to see the signs, you're getting the messages, and it's perfectly okay for you to say, oh, okay, hold on, back up. I don't feel I'm ready for that yet. That's perfect because you can manifest a full-blown relationship with him even if you're not feeling completely that it's perfect or you still have a lot of resistance in you. But you might find that it's not the way that you wanted it to be, or you might find that it doesn't last very long. That's often what happens, you know. Think about lottery winners. What was that? Lottery winners who, go through a lifetime of having terrible, negative relationships with money. They suddenly win the lottery. Well, that was a manifestation. But then, in a year or two, they're suddenly destitute. Maybe they're even worse off than they were before they won the lottery. You hear that all the time. And I'm not bringing that up because of anything, say don't manifest the lottery. But the idea is that, yes, you want to be in a better space and you want to be ready for the thing when it comes so that it can be a good thing. Absolutely. All right. So it's okay to want to keep working on yourself. And it's okay to say, whoa, slow down a little bit. Hold up. I'm not ready for that quite yet. It's perfectly all right. Don't worry that you've messed anything up or that you've missed your only chance or opportunity. You're going to have more and more and more opportunities. They're going to keep coming to you, all right? They'll come to you in different forms and at different times, and you'll get to decide. You always get to decide. This is not nobody is holding this back from you. Nobody's judging you and saying, well, you're worthy of this or you're not worthy of this, or I gave this to you and you rejected it. How dare you? Now it's gone forever. It's not how things work. You are the one who decides, okay? So that's perfectly all right. I say all this to say I would love to have a relationship with this person again and not repeat the same patterns. So that's perfect. That's like what I just said. You don't want to repeat the same patterns. You don't want to have the old relationship. You want a new relationship. So if you feel that there were things inside of you that were sort of reflecting back on the relationship, or the relationship was reflecting something back to you that you feel was somehow making things go sideways, that's good. That's good for you to acknowledge that. All right. So I hope that's a clear answer. I realize these things can be very layered, right? And sometimes people get confused. I don't want to confuse you. You can absolutely manifest somebody even if you feel it's not the perfect time. You may find it's not the relationship that you had in mind, but maybe you weren't clear on what that was yet because you're so focused on it not being that thing, right? But you shouldn't stop moving ahead also just because you're afraid that you're not ready for it yet. You have to know whether you're ready or not, and it's okay if you feel very strongly that you're not ready and you say, I may need some more time to work on myself. That's perfectly okay. But if, on the other hand, you're saying, well, I'm rejecting this because maybe I'm not ready and therefore I'm going to stop this manifestation in its tracks, then you shouldn't really do that either. Does that make sense? So don't let it rule you, in other words. Either way, don't let it be such a big thing, all right? You get to decide when you're ready and when you're not ready, all right? So it's perfectly okay. And by the way, and also, you absolutely don't have to worry about whether now it's gone and it won't come again. I've been in that boat, and trust me, the opportunities come again and again and again and again and again and again, all right? It'll keep knocking on your door as long as you keep wanting it. It wants to reach you, all right? But you should feel ready. You should feel ready when it comes, okay? And you should enjoy it when it comes. If you're feeling in any way trepidatious about it, or you have some anxiety about it, then see that as a message from your inner self saying, okay, here's an area where you can work on things. Here's a roadblock, right? So how do we move that out of the way? So anyway, I hope that wasn't too much babbling, confusing babbling, but yeah, good question. Thank you. All right, Mo. Hey, Mo, you've left a couple of comments. I'm going to actually respond to this one. I think your comment is a little bit similar to 𝗙់𝗿. You both seem to be kind of overthinkers a little bit. Maybe you two should communicate. I like that idea, by the way. You all should communicate with each other and become friends, like people that watch the channel. I like that idea. Okay. Because, I have my version of things to give you that I know from my experience, but I'm not Jesus over here or anything, okay? I don't have all the answers. I might have 99.9% of them. No. But, I'm hopping and skipping along just like the rest of you, figuring it out as I go. But if you guys have advice to give each other, I love that idea, all right? Anyway, I cannot help but comment on most of your videos. I love it. Keep it coming. You are brilliant. Wow. Keep talking about parallel dimensions, and I plan on doing that. So, how do you stop your logical mind from rationalizing because the version of my ex that I wish to attract is far from the version he is currently? So, it is a huge leap of faith, and my reason keeps telling me, oh boy, we're far from that. I know the universe works instantly and knows no time limit nor distances. Well, yes, and you're part of the universe, so really you're not bound by those things either. None of us are, right? But there's a good reason that exists. I'll get into that in a little bit. But the issue is really in how to stop rationalizing. Well, if you're worried about not rationalizing, then guess what you're doing? You're rationalizing about not rationalizing, or you're rationalizing about rationalizing. Do you see how it's a cycle? You're bringing it up. You're obviously thinking about it a lot, which is overthinking about rationalizing, right? So how do you stop rationalizing? Stop thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Stop making it an issue. Stop making it a problem. Okay? Stop asking, how do I stop rationalizing? The question can perpetuate the problem. The question is not a solution. And a lot of times people get confused on that point in this work. And it's very easy to do. They think, well, I keep asking the question, why is the answer not coming? Well, questions aren't answers, okay? You ask your question, you allow the answer to come. So stop talking and thinking about how to stop rationalizing. Stop doing it. Do something else. I guess with money and other things, it's easy to think, well, things can change in an instant if I win the lottery or get inheritance. Sure, things can always change in an instant. Doesn't just have to do with money. You say, I find it's a bit more tricky with personality changes. Well, if you make it tricky, then it's going to be tricky. If you make a personality change any more important than winning the lottery or getting an inheritance, then guess what? It's going to be bigger in your mind, right? What does Abraham say? The universe can manifest a castle or a button. It's all the same to the system that works these things, right? The system is in place. It can manifest a castle or a button as easily as anything, right? Meaning is what you give the things. Importance, bigness, or smallness is what you give the situation, all right? Understand, it's all you doing it. So if you think it's going to be tricky with personality changes, or to get him to change, or to plug into some version of him that you prefer, then guess what it's going to be? It's going to be tricky, you know? But I don't want to feel this way about the matter anymore. Well, then stop. All right, I know. Easier said than done. Well, let me tell you something. It's interesting. That last line is it's pretty telling, because, and I had to think about that a little bit when I was reading your comment, because, you know, I have had a similar situation in my life. And what tends to happen is that if we have a habit of thinking about situations a certain way. Let's say we think about relationships, generally speaking, in a negative manner, or we put a negative tinge on anything that has to do with relationships or romance or love or sex or any of that stuff. Then it's because we've gotten into the habit of feeling that way. And as we become into the habit of feeling that way, every time we think a certain thing, or we have a certain emotional reaction to a thought or to a situation, be it fear, be it frustration, any of those things, there's a chemical release, right? Your brain is producing these chemicals that your cells are kind of soaking up. It becomes like an addiction for us. So we tend to, this is why it's so difficult when we first find this material, when we say, well, okay, I'm going to change the way I think about things. I'm going to be more positive, and you might work it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe a day, maybe a week, and suddenly, bam, you're back to where you were. What happened? Your ego, your mind, your body, all the cells in your body are actually giving you the resistance because they're used to this other type of chemical that you're suddenly denying them, right? So you're addicted to your negative emotions, your negative feelings, and your negative thoughts about things. Understand that. It's very important to understand that, because then you realize what's going on, that it's a systemic thing, right? It's like an addiction to nicotine or alcohol or any kind of drug. You stop giving your body those chemicals, it's going to start looking for them. So it's going to start pumping those thoughts into your brain again, those negative thoughts, because it knows it produces those chemicals that it feels it wants, right? So how do you break a habit or an addiction? Don't worry about breaking the habit. Just replace it with a better habit, and understand that there's going to be that time when it's going to be uncomfortable to do that. And you're going to have to really push, right? They say, like, if you want to quit smoking, you can, after the 3rd week, you're pretty much home free, kind of a thing, right? If you manage not to smoke for 3 weeks, about 21 days, like they say, it takes about 21 days to build a new habit. And in this case, it's not that I'm getting rid of the habit of smoking. I'm just replacing it with the habit of not smoking. Does that make sense? So you don't want to kill your habit of negative thinking. You want to replace it with a new habit of positive thinking. So, and don't worry if you slip, okay? Everybody does. Changing your habits or introducing new habits is not easy, but you just have to get through that initial period of discomfort about it and understand that your body and your mind are reacting to that, okay? That's why you're feeling about it. The thing is to just distract yourself. Just like 𝗙cie, you're overthinking this thing. You're rationalizing about rationalizing. You want to just distract yourself with other things, all right? Do other things that don't take so much energy, so much thought energy, that are easy to do. Play with your dog or your cat. If you have kids, play with your kid, or borrow someone's kid and go play with them. Like, throw the ball around with them. Do whatever, okay? Go hang out with a friend you haven't seen in a while. Go have a drink. Go eat a burger, a nice restaurant, a meal. Go watch a movie and zone out for a night. Whatever it takes, do it. Do the things that aren't so thought intensive, right? Give yourself a break. This is a game. It should be fun. all right? And you're making it, you're making it into a career, all right? Or you're making it into, I gotta get this thing, I gotta get this thing. I understand, it's a habit. We're all used to doing that. We gotta achieve, we gotta push, 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 push. That's our culture. That's the culture we were raised in. So we're all doing something new here. We're all sort of going into the uncharted territory, and we're all testing ourselves to see how far we can take it, all right? I get it. So anyway, ooh, did that sound kind of preachy? Well, I didn't mean for it to, but I get passionate about this. All right. Thanks, Mo. 𝗙់ощ 𝗿𝗏𝗏𝗧. God, I like that. You guys have some great names. All right. What if she blocked me? Doesn't matter. What if she blocked you? Who cares? What's the problem? What's the question, really? I mean, are you saying that? Are you asking me, she blocked me, therefore it's the end of the world, and I'm never ever going to see her again? I'm never ever going to be in a relationship with her again? Well, I'm here to tell you, you will be. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about the blocking. What did I just say to the others? If you're thinking about it, then you're perpetuating it. If you see it as a problem, then it's a problem. She might have blocked you for any number of reasons, okay? She might have blocked you because she's still in love with you, and it's too painful for her. So she doesn't want to look at you or hear from you because she's afraid that if she gets around you, she's not going to help herself. She'll throw herself at you. And right now she wants to be angry at you, or she wants to get away, or she wants to heal, all right? If somebody blocks you in a romantic situation, and it's an ex, understand that oftentimes, very often, unless you're, some crazy stalker person, I don't think you are. I'm not going to say that you are. But if that's the case, oftentimes it'll happen because they're still in love with you. They still have feelings for you, and they don't know how to handle them. So they're just going to go shut the wall, raise the wall up, shut the windows and the doors, okay? So that's a very strong possibility. The point is, you get to decide which story you prefer to tell yourself about it. Don't bother her if she's blocking you. Don't call her, blow up her phone. Leave her alone. Let her come to you. But start telling yourself a different story about it. First of all, I wouldn't think about it at all, actually. It shouldn't bother you. But it does, clearly. And if it does, then just tell yourself a different story about it. Just say, oh, she still has feelings for me. She needs some time. And then just be compassionate about that and give her the time and the space and focus on yourself in the meantime. Focus on how you want the relationship to be, the new relationship you're going to have with her. If this is an ex, I assume it is. And use that time to work on yourself, and then when the time, and to focus on the end result, okay? Don't look at the circumstances so much. They don't matter. They don't matter. What does Bashar say? Circumstances don't matter. Only state of being matters. So ignore the circumstances. Work on your state of being. It's all a reflection of what's going on in here, all right? It's a mirror. All this is a mirror, all right? Including me. I'm part of your mirror right now, your mirror image, okay? Awesome. Thanks, 𝗙់ощ. Hope that helps you. I got some great compliments. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the compliments. I love them. I think they're amazing. They really give me the courage and the confidence to keep doing this. So I'm really happy that you guys are enjoying it. All right, Summer Girl. I want him to come back because I love him. I told him I love him. 1 month and a half later, after breakup, he reacted positive, but not enough to take me back. Well, give it time. It's okay to give things time. And if he reacted positively to you saying that you still love him, that's a good sign. That's a good sign that maybe he still feels the same way. Maybe he's not ready yet. Maybe he wants a little space. You should also get a little space for yourself. But understand that that's actually pretty good. I would say the story I would tell myself about that is, hey, yes, we're broken up. I told him I love him, and he seemed to like that, or he smiled about it, or we had a nice conversation about it. That's a good thing. That means you guys are communicating, right? So remember, this is about the spin you put on it. Like I was telling, I'm sorry, I forgot now. Was I telling 𝗙់ощ that? You get to put the spin on it. You're the one who tells the story to yourself, right? Tell the story you prefer, okay? Don't look at that as a problem. Look at this as a good thing, all right? And don't worry about when he's going to take you back or any of that kind of stuff, he reacted positively to you telling him that you love him. Perfect, great. Now just focus on that. Eat that up. Swim in that for a while. Feel the wonderfulness of that. Milk it for everything that it's worth, all right? Milk it as much as you can. And then go do something else that gives you joy. And just keep doing that. Just keep following your path of excitement. It will lead you to where you want to be. Don't worry about the, oh, but it wasn't enough for him to take me back. Well, not right now, but that doesn't mean it won't be enough for him in a month, right? Down the road sometime. So don't worry so much about when and how much is enough and all that stuff, right? Right now, you guys seem to be okay. Let that be enough for now, okay? All right. All right, I have one more here. Belgian refugee. Hi, mate. In your video, you just said that action will be always required to make progress. Yeah, but what is action? I mean, I don't, you know, if you're talking about jumping through hoops and jumping over buildings and things like that, you know, when I say action, I mean, what's an action? Meditating is an action, right? Taking a nap if you're feeling down or tired is taking an action, all right? So don't think about an action as being something that's, that I mean by that hard work. You know, you're equating action with hard work, or that word action. It seems like you're hung up on that word a little bit. But action can be anything. I mean, think about it. You can even argue that non-action is a form of action, okay? So anyway, watching this video is taking action, right? Writing that comment is taking action. So anything can be seen as an action. And when I say we live in an action-based universe, that's precisely what I'm talking about. This is, you know, this is how we move things around here, okay? If you're hungry, you make a sandwich. That's taking an action. But is it frustrating or extremely hard work to make the sandwich? Is it extremely hard work to go take a nap and lie down when you're tired? No, but it's action, right? But okay, so you want to know about your voice. I'm going to cut to the nitty-gritty here. If I want to have a perfect singing voice like a famous star, just randomly, I had that idea and started to manifesting. You didn't just randomly have it. You want to be a famous star. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't hold back from your dream, all right? Yeah, I want to be a famous star. That would be amazing to be that, to be a famous singer, to be Justin Bieber or whoever the hell it is, right? I mean, yeah, I want to feel that. I want to have that experience. That's exciting. Boom, own it, okay? Anyway, I can't get this without any effort, right? Well, okay, so here's the thing, and I said this already. When we're talking about action, you're confusing it with effort and work and hard work. And a lot of people have this kind of issue where they think, well, that's hard work. I can get a lot of money, but I have to do a lot of things for it. This dream is going to be a lot of hard work. But what are you asking me here, really? You're asking if you can sit and focus on being a good singer and having a good voice and then wake up tomorrow and be a famous singer or have a famous singing voice, right? Or have a perfect voice? Well, yes, of course. I mean, again, you can do that, all right? But when we're talking about quantum jumping, a lot of times, and I'm taking a page from Abraham here, because I think people get this mixed up with, oh, right, you know, the money should just drop into my lap. I'm just going to sit here and think about money and having money, and then out of the sky, a sack full of $40,000 will drop into my lap. Well, okay, yes, that can theoretically happen, but you don't want things to happen like that, all right, on this holodeck of ours, because think about it. Think about all the negative thoughts you have. If we could change things that instantly, man, it would be fucking wacky out here, okay? Not that it's not already wacky enough, but that would be wacky, all right? What's the old example you always hear? If that were the case, you'd think about an elephant and one would just appear in your living room, right? So you want things to unfold gradually because it does two things. That time delay, all right? It's important for you because you might change your mind about what you want, or you might want to tailor it, okay? And if if we were to just quantum jump like that, it would be a little bit too much for our minds and our monkey brains to grasp, and we might just snap, right? So, but here's the other side of this, okay? Because when you talk about effort and hard work about this, it's like, well, okay, yes, because if you want to pursue this and if you want to have a famous singing voice, and eventually that could lead you to becoming a famous singer, then jump to the end result in your mind. Because when you're doing that, you're also jumping. You're quantum jumping to the part of you, to that version of you that's already existing in a parallel dimension that already has the singing voice, already has those things, has that career, if that's what you're after. Ask that person. If you're doing that, you're asking that person, that version of yourself, how did you get here? How did you become a famous singer? I want to get there. I want this version of me to be me, that I'm the one focusing on it. Because here's how you do it. You focus on that version of yourself. You go to the end result. You sit and you visualize and you feel what it would feel like to be a famous singer and to have a famous singing voice. And then what happens is you'll start to see the breadcrumbs, the path towards the thing you want will start to unfold for you, okay? And you'll get opportunities. People will invite you to, maybe you'll see something about a free singing class. Then take action and go there, okay? Someone might invite you to something like that. Say yes and go with them, okay? Someone might offer you free singing lessons and just, I don't know, buy you that for Christmas or for your birthday or something like that. Hey, here's 6 months of singing lessons. Say thank you, yes, and go and use them, okay? Because if this is your passion, if it's something you're passionate about, then none of the actions that you will have to take to get there will seem like effort at all. All right? That's the short version of what I wanted to say after that entire rant, okay? Because this is important to understand, though. Taking action isn't the same as effort and hard work. Hard work is when you're doing something that you don't want to be doing. You got to stop doing those things, okay? Taking action towards something that you're passionate about, that you really want to do, something that you love, should feel like fun, all right? So action isn't the bad thing. Action isn't a bad thing, okay? You want to take the action. And now if you're worried about, oh, I want this to happen immediately, well, some things are going to require you to go through a process. But that's fine, though, because, again, think of the process as the fun thing. That's the fun part. Sometimes the journey is better than the destination, okay? Right? I hope that is clear. Don't be afraid to take action. Yeah? Don't confuse action with hard work and with effort, okay? And with straining and pushing and things like that. It should feel easy. That's why we want to master this manifesting stuff, because we want to start, we want to start being deliberate about what we create rather than just creating by default, because we're doing it all the time. We've just not been aware that we've been doing it. So now we're aware of it. We're aware that we have this ability. So now we can fine tune it. We can shape it. We can train ourselves to become good at it. All right. And the other part of it is because, you know what? It's fun. It's fun to do this. Make it a game. All right. You're playing a game. Don't make the game into work. If anything ever feels difficult, any action that you're taking, anything that you're doing or thinking about, stop doing it, or recalibrate how you're doing it, or recalibrate what you're thinking about it. If it's something that you really still want, or if there's some other thing missing from your vision, right? It should feel easy. And when things feel easy, and when this path unfolds for you, and when the breadcrumbs kind of just appear before you and you follow them and bam, there you are, that is how we manifest, okay? That's how it should feel. It should feel like it's flowing. It should feel easy, okay? So that, if singing is your passion, learning how to sing and perfect your voice should be a fun process. And if it's not, then maybe it's not really your passion. Think about what is, right? And then follow that. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to you. This has been fun. I'm enjoying these. So anyway, if you want to leave me a tip, there's a link down below for PayPal. Anything is great. And if not, that's fine too. That's wonderful. I'm going to go shovel snow because it's been snowing here. And I think my car is covered in snow, so I'm going to have to do that. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you got something valuable out of this. Keep leaving your comments. There's an email podcast thing coming up soon. Just bear with me. I kind of hit the ground running when I came back from my trip, so it's been just a kind of a crazy January, but it's been fun. Yeah, and that's really all I have to say about that. Be well, everybody. And until next time, bye-bye.